Okay, now we want to talk about supersymmetry and superpartners. And if you notice, it says underneath this is not going to be on the exam. So don't worry about it. And if you don't want to watch this segment, then you don't have to. But I just find that it's pretty interesting. So the idea is that matter is going to be composed of fermions. So quarks and leptons are examples of fermions. Then we said that the bosons were the exchange particles. So they were the particles that created the forces. Now we know that, for example, something that is composed of matter has mass and it causes the force of gravity. How does it do it? Well, according to our current understanding, there's a communication problem between fermions and bosons. They have a difficult time communicating with each other. So how do they interact with each other? So this is where a super partner comes into. We need to have a super partner. So think about if the President of the United States wants to talk to the President of Russia. Okay, the problem is that the President of the United States probably doesn't understand Russian, and the President of Russia probably doesn't understand English. So what they need to have is interpreters. So the President of the United States would have an interpreter who would be able to listen to Russian and interpret it into English, and then the Russians would need to have an interpreter that could interpret English, turn it into Russian, and then tell that to the President of Russia. So you need to have interpreters. So we think that there needs to be an interpreter for every kind of fermion so it can communicate with the bosons, and then for every kind of boson there has to be an interpreter that will allow it to communicate with the fermions. And so that's what this picture here shows. So that up in the top left-hand corner are the fermions. Those are the particles such as the quarks and the electrons and the neutrinos. Those are the particles that make up matter. Down at the bottom right-hand corner are the bosons. So those are the things that cause the fundamental forces of nature. So in order for a fermion up here to be able to communicate with a boson down here, you need to have the interpreter that is in the red box there. And so you can see that you need a photino, you need a wino, you need a xeno, you need gluinos, you need a gravitino, and you need Higgos. Yeah, so you need those particles. I didn't come up with these names. So someone, I think that they were up really late at night drinking a lot of alcohol when they came up with these names. Now, let's say that you are a boson, though, and you want to communicate with a fermion. So you're going to need, again, a supersymmetric particle in order to do that. And so, for example, you're going to need a stop, a bottom, a staw. I'm not even going to go through them, so you can read them. But once again, you need other particles in order to interpret so that the two particles can communicate with each other. And what was our goal? Our goal was to make things easier. But now, notice that currently you need to have all of these particles in order to be able to explain matter. Oh, I forgot. We need to double every one of those particles, because for every particle it has an antiparticle that goes with it. So this is the number of particles that we need in order to explain how matter interacts. And so that's not even including the dark matter and the dark energy. So it's telling you that things are pretty much a mess, the way things are going. Okay, let's take a break. When we come back, if you want to come back, we're going to talk about evidence for dark matter based on rotational speed, and I just wanted to show you the mathematics of it.